He did it. Carter Starocci won his fifth NCAA title, defeating Parker Ketkaizen 4-3, and that wasn't the only bit of history that was made there.
You are Locked On Nittany Lions, your daily podcast on the Penn State Nittany Lions. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are locked on to Penn State Wrestling. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Nittany Lions. My name is Zach Seyko, the host of this show, the #1 Penn State sports podcast out there. We are talking about Carter Starocci's unprecedented fifth NCAA title as he defeats Parker Ketkaizen 4-3. Penn State has other history that was made as the scoring title was reset, and ESPN fumbled all of this. ESPN absolutely messed up here with how they handled the event card for tonight, with how they organized the lineup. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's start with what Carter Starocci did. Talk about the positives. Starocci stands alone in history. 5 NCAA titles individually, 5 for 5 going. It's unprecedented. It's never been done. It will never be done again. And Starocci defeated a really talented wrestler in Parker Ketkaizen. Ketkaizen's a defending NCAA champion in his own right, was undefeated leading up to it. Now, they met in the NWC All-Star Classic, but Starocci looked like the better wrestler for a majority of the match. Was able to escape easily. He was the aggressor. Ketkaizen fended him off the first time, but it felt like Ketkaizen was the one that was always making those mistakes, and Starocci was ready. He was ready to pounce on them, and he made Ketkaizen pay. Probably could have done it a couple other times, but Starocci just needed that one takedown. That was going to be the difference. Ketkaizen, there was never really a moment in time where I sat there and said that, oh, Starocci's going to lose this one, or Ketkaizen's very close to breaking through. Starocci felt like he was in control for the entirety of the match. He dictated the pace. He dictated the result. And he comes out on top. He stands alone as a 5-time NCAA champion. Nobody's going to be able to do this again. And I understand the circumstances behind it. I understand that this opportunity did not casually happen. It took a catastrophic event in the world for Starocci to get this opportunity. But only he could go 5 for 5 like this and defeating all the competition along the way. All the intense competition, the elite competitors that stood in his way, and he was able to do it. So he is part of this Penn State wrestling team that breaks the scoring record. So yes, in the process, Starocci killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He defeated Ketkaizen for his 5th NCAA title, and then in the process, the team's scoring record was within reach. They were at 169. The total that Penn State had, the record that Penn State had set a year ago was 172.5. And Starocci, by getting the championship, gets 14 points, and now Penn State breaks its own record and is at the top. So this is, objectively speaking, the best team in NCAA history. They have 173 points. They have 10 out of 10 All-Americans. They didn't get as many finalists. I acknowledge that. But when we're looking at it, when you look at, hey, who set the scoring record? Who scored the most team points? This is, objectively speaking, the best team. Nobody finished lower than 6th place. Greg Kirkfleet had to medically injury default, or else he would have finished, probably if he was fully healthy, probably would have finished 2nd place and would have defeated Wyatt Hendrickson. That's a lot of what ifs, but nobody finished any lower than 6th. Everybody on these final sessions, they had won. Penn State bounced back in consolations and had a perfect sweep. Braden Davis for 5th place. 5 other wrestlers going for 3rd. So Penn State, once again, proves that it is a dynasty, and it's not going away. It is not going anywhere. It is bittersweet, though, as that is Starocci's final go. Greg Kirkfleet's moving on, Bo Bartlett. So let's all appreciate this moment for what it is. Unprecedented history. Penn State going down as the best team. Sure, you can debate it with previous Penn State teams, other Iowa teams, Oklahoma State teams. But when you look at the records, when you look at the team standings back in history, Penn State's at the top of the record books here. Carter Starocci was on this Penn State wrestling team. So the dynasty continues to get stronger. Oklahoma State and Iowa and Nebraska are doing their own thing, but I don't see anything that really disrupts where Penn State is, winning 12 out of the last 14 NCAA championships. Cale Sanderson has won 12 now, 13 in program history, and 4 in a row. This is another four-peat for Penn State. The second four-peat in Cale Sanderson's tenure. How crazy it is to actually process that. And to finish this all up, again, this is just a brief reaction. Talk about this more in a live show. ESPN fumbled this entirely. Fumbled the main event, arguing that the production team had a vote, and in order to increase viewership, to get the ratings, to go up against college basketball, however you want it. Gable Steveson, there's more people that are interested in him. I get it. It's Gable Stevenson's last match. He's going to go down as one of the greatest wrestlers in his own right. Starocci has an argument to be one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Cale Sanderson, I think that's your top 3 right there. Gable Steveson, Cale Sanderson, Carter Starocci are 3 of your top wrestlers of all time, easily. And ESPN has the exclusive broadcast rights to unprecedented history, a once-in-a-lifetime type of moment, and you put it at the front of the card. Whatever the justification was, it's wrong. You had the opportunity to set everything up, build the hype, build the anticipation, draw viewers in, because wrestling doesn't get enough credit and respect that it deserves. I understand that it's still more of a niche sport, but how do you grow the audience? How do you gain fans? You have this build-up. You draw people in and you get them to watch those elite matchups all along the way for the anticipation of that main event where someone is going for an unprecedented 5th NCAA title. And you messed all of that up. Because people probably you probably did get the casual fan, ESPN. You probably did get people to tune away and say, hey, I got to see this Starocci dude go for his 5th NCAA title. They watched it, it came, it went, now it's over, and they went back to whatever they were doing. You could have drawn in viewers and had your average everyday, athletics fan or sports fan watch this and say, hey, I can appreciate the sport for what it is because, I saw Starocci make history. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. Maybe you had some people stick around, but probably not. So there was none of that. You had the exclusive rights to a once-in-a-lifetime type of moment, and you dismissed it. You minimized it. You made it seem like it was your everyday regular matchup. Oh, these are 2 talented elite wrestlers. We're going to throw them at the front of the card. That's not how you do it. You build it up. You tease it. You just draw it out and then hype it up to where it's the main event. It's the biggest event of the night, and you didn't treat it that way. You didn't treat it that way, and it's a disservice to wrestling, and I can't justify it any sort of way. This is never going to happen again. Rarely are you going to get even a 4-time NCAA champion, so let alone a 5. Carter Starocci disagreed with it too. I'm going to take his side with it, obviously, here. But let's go back to the positives. Starocci wins a 5th NCAA title. He did it at Penn State. He did it under the direction of Cale Sanderson. Starocci stands alone. Stands alone in one regard. Cale Sanderson still stands alone as an undefeated wrestler, winning 4 NCAA titles. Gable Steveson, as dominant as he is, but nobody else can say that they have won a 5th NCAA title. So that's just the initial reaction to all of this. Penn State sets the team scoring record again in the process. They can actually, at the time of this recording, they can actually build that lead even further and make it difficult for themselves to try to make history once again. But this dynasty is not going anywhere. It's stronger than ever, in my humble opinion. That'll do it for this recap here on Locked On Nittany Lions. If you're new to the show, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave a like on this episode and share it with friends and family. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Thank you so much for checking out Locked On Nittany Lions. I really appreciate the support on this show, and we'll have more conversations around all of your favorite Penn State sports teams, including Penn State wrestling, Penn State football, Penn State men's basketball here on Locked On Nittany Lions.